Hey, I'm Ethan.
Hey, I'm Mike.
I watched the first half of Green Lantern.
I watched the second half of Green Lantern.
And this
is the other half.
Bombs away! Wow.
Well, we finally made it to the end of our Bombs Away series, talking about the old Green Lantern movie with Mr. Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
Deadpool himself.
Yeah.
Johnny Storm himself.
This movie was so bad that he was like, I'm going to a completely different comic book series.
Yeah, exactly. This is the second time out of 3 that he was a comic book superhero.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's done a lot.
He's tried. And I guess that also happened with Chris. Did that happen with what's his name? The guy
Chris Evans?
Yeah, Chris
Evans.
Evans.
Yeah, because he was one of the Fantastic Four. I can't remember which one.
Wait, I thought Ryan Reynolds was one of the Fantastic Four. No, I'm mistaken about Ryan Reynolds.
No.
You're right.
Ryan Reynolds was in was Deadpool twice because he was he was Deadpool in the shitty Wolverine movie, and then he had his own movie.
That's right.
But he's like weird Deadpool then.
Oh no, the fucking nerds are gonna come after me. Saying,
oh, the nerds are gonna get you. Let me tell you, we're here to piss them nerds off. If you're here like, not enough people talk about Green Lantern. Well, let me tell you,
people shouldn't be talking about Green
Lantern. Green Lantern is so wild to me. So I was looking this up right before we started recording because I'm like, what era of DC was this?
Yeah, when was this?
So this is kind of a weird transitioning period for DC because
like when did it come out around the Marvel movies?
So I wasn't even talking about the Marvel movies. I'm just looking at DC's slate because during the Marvel movies, I think it was like phase 1 or phase 2 of the Marvel movies.
Okay.
So like they were already like, we have a franchise, we know what we're doing, which I think it was kind of like this might have been like right after the first Avengers movies, I think.
Really?
No, hold on.
I'll look it up. You tell me.
Okay, I'll tell you about where the DC were. So right before this was in 2009, Watchmen.
Wow.
2010, Jonah Hex, which no one remembers. But this was in the middle of the Dark Knight franchise. Like this was before the Dark Knight Rises came out.
Right.
Which is wild to me because I feel like that was just a different era of DC movies. You know, the last
yeah, that's fucking nuts.
The earlier Superman movie was Superman Returns. Right? Like that was the movie before that. And so Man of Steel didn't come out for another 2 years, which is when they started doing the extended DC universe
franchise. Yeah, this is. So you were right. This came out a year before the Avengers movie.
Okay, I thought so. I thought it was around that same time. So like, Marvel just cracked the code. Like that's when they started being like, this is how we can make money forever. Right. We can do this. Right. And this was kind of a weird in the middle. We're just DC. We're gonna poop out this movie that not a lot of people know about the Green Lantern. I feel like it's not a huge.
I think Green Lantern is pretty well known.
You think it's pretty big?
I think the character is well known. I don't think the weird other shit that this movie tries to contend with is all that well known.
I feel like that's so tied to Green Lantern, though.
I guess that's true. But like everyone knows about the, I mean, I don't know though. I did watch a lot of the Green Lantern like comic or the cartoon series back in the day.
I think you might be a little biased. I feel like Green Lantern, like when you think of like top super DC superheroes, it's like Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman.
Right.
And then you're kind of getting into something deeper then.
Yeah, that's fair.
You're getting into kind of more obscure stuff.
Martian Manhunter.
Exactly. Like you're getting into the weirder ones. You're getting into space.
It's the Flash.
I guess the Flash is probably probably more famous one. I feel, but I feel like Green Lantern. He's definitely like under, like he's like B tier. I feel. So it's weird to have this kind of just pop out, because Marvel was like, if we're gonna have a B tier character, like Guardians of the Galaxy, we're gonna have to set them up and connect them to everything else.
This does feel like a Guardians movie.
It kind of does. I mean, it's just so
spacey shit. Yeah, weird spacey alien shit.
But it has the opposite of a Guardians movie, which is zero interesting characters. Every single person.
What are you talking about?
This is.
How dare you?
The reason I feel like we did this last, we were talking about why we ordered it this way.
Yeah.
And unconsciously, I think we just picked the worst movie last. To get it over with, because I think this movie has basically nothing going for it.
Really?
I think, maybe the special effects are okay.
I think the special effects are pretty okay.
They're
especially
pretty
for the time period.
For the time period, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, what's his name? Suspirio? What the fuck is this?
Suspirio?
What the? Sinestro. Sinestro looks pretty good. Come on.
Sinestro looks pretty good.
That's a pretty great effect.
There's a lot of aliens in here, and they all look pretty cool.
Yeah, I think Sinestro is probably the best effect. I don't think the Green Lantern suit looks great.
No, I think it's just unfortunately the design is just not very cool looking. I think it's a problem with a lot of DC characters. It just their designs are so early 30s style, just like very goofy spandex with like a little mask.
Yeah, not my Snyder cut versions of the characters. They're all dark and gloomy.
Honestly, though, I'll take it.
Compared to this,
I'll take compared to this.
I think what just doesn't help is that his suit's completely CG, and so it's like hard to like ground him.
Yeah.
But I think you're also right. Him in that little fucking like Incredibles mask.
The little Incredibles mask is very funny. I didn't even think about it. It is very Incredibles, isn't it?
Yeah. But come on, there's a lot going for it. You got Hector.
Yeah, man, Hector.
You got Hector. You got Carol.
Carol, played by Liv Tyler.
Carol.
Liv Tyler. Not Liv Tyler. Fuck. That's
Blake Lively.
Blake Lively. Why does it Liv Tyler?
Liv Tyler.
Brain's not working.
It's
Apologize. Which is
that is his wife.
That's his actual wife.
Yeah.
She makes Betty Buzzes.
Betty Buzz.
That thing you could drink on its own, or you can mix with the alcoholic beverage.
I've never heard of this.
Okay, that's like
that's her thing?
Their family loves getting into alcohol. He's got Aviation Gin.
I knew that. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, and Wrexham.
And yeah, he's got a football team.
Yeah. So yeah, you got Hector. You got Carol. You got Taika Waititi's in this movie.
Taika Waititi's in this movie.
He's doing a weird American accent.
Yeah, that was very strange hearing him with the American accent.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the only movie. Every other movie, he's just like, I'm going to talk.
I'm just going to be like from New Zealand. Yeah, which makes sense. Come on, you got Sinestro, everyone's favorite. No one would forget his name.
No one. I mean,
have I mentioned Hector yet? Hector's great.
Hector's played by Peter Sarsgaard.
His name is not Sarsgaard.
Is it not Sarsgaard?
Is it not Sarsgaard? I thought it wasn't Sarsgaard.
Sarsgaard.
That sounds like Sarsgaard. All right, is he a Sarsgaard?
I imagine he's a Sarsgaard with that last name.
He sounds like a Sarsgaard. I'll look this up.
I will say,
he's the best actor in this entire fucking movie.
He is, but also, he doesn't seem like a Sarsgaard.
He doesn't, right? That's why I didn't believe you.
Yeah.
Maybe some weird
You got Mark
Strong.
Mark Strong is Sinestro.
Yes. He's great. You got weird little monkey aliens.
Yeah, Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins? Oh, right. Tim Robbins. That's right.
He's in Hammond. Yeah, Angela Bassett as Dr.
She's barely in this movie.
Dr. Waller, which is wild to me that she's in this, and then they recast her later.
Why
obviously,
wouldn't they?
Because she's actually in a franchise.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't say Angela Bassett with the Waller haircut doesn't
She's
work.
barely in my half of the movie. She shows up like once.
It's definitely for people to point and be like, oh,
Waller.
Cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of great characters in this movie, man. There's a lot going for it.
You mean a lot of great actors in this movie?
No, characters.
Okay.
Peter Sarsgaard, that's his name. He really inhabited the character of Hector.
Yeah, tell me one notable note about Hector.
He's got the worst haircut.
He's balding, dude.
He's got the worst hairline in the world, man.
I realize why I now said Liv Tyler, because Lively looks like Liv. That's why.
You are absolutely right about that, my man. I got you.
Exactly.
I got you.
Thank you for seeing me and my faults.
You are
Oh
accurate.
God, I don't want to talk about this movie.
I don't want to either.
Oh
man.
my God.
This is a rough film.
This is
man.
rough because it's just so freaking bland.
It's very there's moments, there's hints of like cool things happening, but they're so few and far between.
Maybe.
I think.
Sure. Maybe in your half. But
I
in
think
my half,
so.
Oh my God.
Nothing.
Let me tell you, I was having so much trouble paying attention. I had to
agree with that.
I had to keep rewinding and being like, wait, I just started thinking about anything in my brain.
This really
I started thinking about my taxes and like, did I get enough return?
Yeah.
Should I have maybe like itemized better?
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I started thinking things like that as opposed to watching the plight of Hal Jordan.
Hal Jordan and his best girl, Carol. Yeah.
They have a little friendly
tete-a-tete
fling rivalry thing going on.
They were best friends when they were little kids.
And then they
grew up and they dated.
I think they did. And then they grew apart.
Because Hal couldn't handle the responsibility.
He's just too much of a baby man.
Yeah, he's a bitch. He's a big old bitch.
I hate him so much.
He's a piece of shit. But then you've got Hector over here. Hector, who always loved Carol.
Oh, he did?
He always had a thing for Carol, yes.
Yeah, I mean, she's an attractive lady, so I guess, sure.
Yeah, Blake Lively with a brown wig.
With a very brown wig,
yeah. Carol. Everyone loves Carol.
Everyone loves Carol.
When you got movies with Carol and Hector in them, you can't lose.
You can't lose. Don't even get me started on Sinestro.
Sinestro, when he shows up, it's like a little red a cherry on top because he's Sinestro and he's got red skin.
He's a little,
He's gray, man. This movie is off the fucking chain, bro.
You are really trying to hype me up for this movie, but let me tell you.
We got to get through this movie somehow.
The beginning is, oh man.
Oh, actually, wait. One other thing I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
Peter Sarsgaard. John Peter Sarsgaard is not related to any of the other Sarsgaards. That's just his last name.
Wow.
Yeah.
So he is a wait.
He's an American. He's full on American.
Isn't Skarsgård with a K?
Skarsgård. So he is Sarsgaard.
He's doing a fucking trick.
He's trying to trick us.
He's trying
to
trick us. He almost got away with it, but he didn't have it.
He didn't have fucking Wikipedia Wikipedia couldn't bow to him.
Oh my God, Peter.
If only he had the yellow ring. If only he had the yellow ring rather than the green one, he could use fear to manipulate.
Well, I'm over here with will.
Oh,
all right. I have my willpower to do whatever I want.
The green is will,
and yellow is fear.
Is fear, and if only he had the fear ring, then maybe he could
bring fear into our hearts. Make him think he was a Skarsgård.
Exactly. Yeah, make us forget.
Which I'm sure
this is what I love about this movie, and it is ironic. I will say, what I love about this movie is that was just like, we need the yellow ring, man. The yellow is gonna save us. I'm like, who fucking cares? And it's like, obviously, I know who cares. The fucking like comic book nerds care about this shit. But it's like when you're reading a comic book, that's like one thing, and then when you see it on a movie and you see a bunch of fucking like alien monkeys that are like referred to as the Guardians, it's really hard to take it seriously, you know?
That's the thing is, like, Marvel did a smart thing, which is ease you into the weird shit, right? Like, exactly. Iron Man is like the most straightforward ass movie you could imagine.
Yeah.
And then they eventually are like, okay, what about Thor? We're gonna do Thor, but he's
dip our little toes in.
We're gonna do a little bit of weirdness, but mostly he's gonna be on Earth anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
And then after like a decade of goodwill, they're like, all right, baby, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, let's try it. Let's take a risk.
This is like when if you were on a first date and you're like, I'm really into like shit stuff, you know? Just trying to think.
Piss play.
Thank you. Thank you. I knew that was on top of mind for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Piss play's all the top of my mind. Not Green Lantern.
Not Green Lantern. But yeah, like,
Liv Tyler also
first
up
date,
there.
I am real into piss play. And it's like, no, the yellow
That's a lot.
is fear.
The yellow is. If I need a food dye, green will also come into play.
But like, genuinely, if this movie came out like after a decade of goodwill from DC movies, I think people
absolutely,
would, people would have loved it.
I think even like current DC movies are like fucking pretty weird, but they get by. You know, people are like, sure, whatever. We want the Snyder cut.
Sure.
No one was ready for this.
Asked for it, but yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they said, sure, please.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I mean, if you want, I'm not going to bombard you on Twitter every single day.
I'm not going to harass everyone for it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, let's talk about the Green Lantern.
So you know how this movie starts out?
No.
A good, easy way to ease you in.
How?
Billions of years ago.
Billions of years ago in the future.
A race of immortals used the emerald energy. They built a world called Planet OA and divided the universe into 3,600 sectors. Every sector sent a ring powered by the energy of will.
Hell yes.
In order to be chosen, one must be without fear. These folks all make up the Green Lantern Corps.
Hell yes. This is what I am talking about.
I love being told the entire thing.
I love
this whole new franchise.
I love it. Don't use this in at all.
And then they're like, all right,
no wonder you're thinking about taxes. This fucking sounds stupid complicated.
Well, hold on.
Oh, there's more.
Well, it's even weirder. You think you're done, like your taxes. You think you're done.
Yeah. Then you have to enter way more shit.
And then you're like, this is two sides to it.
Yeah.
Well, we got to talk about parallax.
Oh, the parallax.
The scariest effect of all.
That's right. I refer to it as the Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, sure. That works. Parallax was the scariest. Yeah. Only one Green Lantern Abin Sur was able to capture this beast, this horrifying creature, and put it away. Right. And he did it on planet Ryut. And
I love Ryut.
We go to planet Ryut, and there's a crash-landed bunch of aliens there in their little alien spacesuits. And they're like, oh, man, please rescue us. We need help. And they fall into a pit.
I can hear the audience just, like, losing interest.
Yeah. Yeah, Mike. That's why I didn't want to talk about this movie. I don't think there's any way I can make this fun.
I loving it. I'm having a great time.
I'm glad you're loving it.
Yeah. The audience is too.
So they fall into a pit. These little weird alien guys. We don't know anything about them. Don't know their names. Doesn't matter.
What do they look like?
Well, they have spacesuits on, and then they kind of look like little Mars Attacks aliens.
Yes, Mars Attacks monkey aliens.
These
are the Guardians.
No, they don't look like that. No, they don't look like that. They don't have the big. Their heads are a little bit smaller. They're more like human heads, but their faces are like weird, like skeleton faces.
Oh, that sounds cool.
I'll be honest, I blocked out my memory. Because it doesn't matter. They get there, they see Parallax stuck in a Green Lantern, what I can only describe as Green Lantern crystals.
Okay.
And he uses his psychic powers and lifts them up and says, I feel you're afraid. Good. And then he fucking sucks their souls out of their body.
Hell yeah.
Which is like a cool effect because it's like little skeletons.
They turn into skeletons. That's right.
Little skeletons get sucked up. Yeah. Pretty cool.
I like that.
And then he's like, delicious. And then he breaks out of his little prison and he's let loose. And that's all it takes is that.
Hell yeah.
This fucking Green Lantern, why did he use this stupid ass pit with like barely, it's so high up and has such a thin bit of ground above it.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
But it worked.
These guys were just walking along the surface. They were not like bouncing. They were not jumping up and down. They were not crashing their spaceship into anything. They crashed their spaceship somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then decided to walk over this.
Yeah, that's pretty
and
stupid.
And then they fell down into a pit.
Honestly, they had it coming.
No! They were just walking around the planet being like, we need help. And then they fucking fell into a pit that this... It feels like a trap door.
Yes.
It feels like this Green Lantern was like...
And imagine there was no other traps on the planet.
He's like, the best fight I ever had was against Parallax.
Mm-hmm. You know who else I need to fight?
And you know what I need to do now? Is I need to make it so that like I'll put him away because it's what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
But like, if he gets loose, I'm ready to fight again.
That's right, baby.
That's what he says. That's what I think. That's my headcanon.
That's pretty great.
Anyway, so yeah, he breaks out, flies away, and then this is the only cool shot in the entire movie to me. Is it pans down and you see Earth.
Whoa.
And then it pans down again, and you realize you're seeing Earth from the moon.
Whoa.
And then it pans down again, and you realize it's a poster.
Whoa.
Of a kid who had the picture of the
Earth and the moon,
which I thought was...
That's great.
That was pretty cool.
This movie rocks.
This is so good.
I love it.
I'm like, all right, let's see what we do.
And then I cannot wait to see Hector.
Ooh, well, Hector's got a little bit to go. We got a little bit to go before Hector because this is
1990. Edging me.
You know what we got to do? Speaking of edging,
yeah,
you're like, where's that Ryan Reynolds?
Where is Ryan Reynolds?
Well, you got to wait because it's 1993.
He's a little baby right now.
He's a little baby man. He's a little kid. He wakes up. He sees his mom and dad, and his mom is like, "I'm scared, honey." And
his mom is Ryan Reynolds with like lipstick on. His dad is Ryan Reynolds with a mustache.
I would love that if that was a flashback. And he goes up to his dad. He's like, "You're not scared, are you, Dad?" He's like, "No, I'm cool." I'm like, "I don't know what's going on."
Yeah, it all comes into play.
So he sees these airplanes going out in the morning, and they're flying around. He's like, "Oh, so excited!" And Hal Jordan is going to be late. He skips his two brothers. He runs. He misses the bus, which I thought he was running after, but it turns out he's running next to the bus because what he does is he goes to his dad's work, and his dad is a pilot, and he's gonna break Mach 3 in this new experimental plane. It's gonna be so cool.
I hope nothing bad happens.
I hope nothing bad happens. This is the most fucking telegraph shit I've ever seen in my life. Let me tell you, they do so many things to set this up.
Even a telegraph would be like, "Come on, bro, this is straightforward."
Even in Morse code, you know this is telegraphed. Beep, boop, boop, boop. You're gonna die. That's how telegraphs talk.
Yeah,
text to speech.
Yeah, that's
telegraph to speech.
Telegraph to speech.
That's what we need. That's the new TTS we need. So there's a coworker there. I can't remember his name. He's like, go watch the plane take off with Carol up in the office.
I think it's Carol's dad.
It's Carol's dad.
Yeah.
Goes up in the office.
Good old Carol.
But his dad's like, "Hey, kid.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you take this jacket?"
He had a scepter on it, right?
Take this jacket. Yeah. Keep it warm for me, kid.
Oh boy.
I'm like, oh my god.
Nothing bad happens
to his dad.
And then he like turns around. He's like, "Hey, kid, I'll be right back."
That's basically what he says.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Oh my god.
So what happens? I can't imagine.
So, well, first off, we got to go up to the office.
Mm-hmm.
Hal goes up there and he talks to, and Hector's bothering Carol, talking to her about alien life.
Right. And
he's like,
Carol's like,
he's
"That's
like,
gross.
I read this book about alien life." She's like, "Oh, that's cool." Oh wow, Hal's here. What's up, Hal?
Nice. And Hector's like, "Damn it."
Hector's like,
"Women hate me.
Women don't like me.
I'm an incel."
And they're like, "Wow, we're gonna go see the new record. Can we go watch with the engineers?" Says Carol and Hal.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Oh," and so the owner, which is Hector's dad, I guess he runs the company.
Yes.
He's like,
that ends up being Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, yeah, why don't you go down to the engineers and hang out with them on the tarmac and see how it goes?" Hector, don't you want to see? He's like, "No, I'm good. I just want to see it here." So everything's going great. He's gonna
Sounds great.
He's gonna go see if he can hit the new speed record. His son Hal is there. He's cheering him on. He steps forward from the crowd a little bit, and the dad goes, and he starts taking off in the plane. He looks over at Hal.
Oh no, he'd give him a thumbs up.
He gives him a thumbs up, and then as soon as he
man.
gives the thumbs up, the back engine catches on fire. and Hal's like, "Oh no!" And he's like, "Oh shit!" He's almost gonna crash into a control tower, and he just clips it a little bit. He pulls it away, and everyone's out of it. He doesn't kill anyone.
Just barely missed that.
And then the plane fucking crashes, and Hal runs up. And he runs over, like, "Oh my god, Dad!" Oh, he's so scared looking, and he's far enough away, and he looks and he sees his dad. He like ejects the cockpit out, and he looks out, and he's like, "Oh," and you're like, "Oh, he's okay." He gets up.
He's great.
And then
he has no legs.
No, and then the whole fucking plane explodes. It's so fucking funny.
This is like the third time he's like nearly escaped death. Yeah. And then like it explodes, and then you see
the first time he escaped death is when he gave that jacket to his son.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you gonna say?
He like crawls out. He's like, "I'm still okay." So
honestly,
just like a piano falls on him.
There was a huge flame.
And
Hal was looking at the big fireball that became the jet.
Yes.
Or that was the jet. Yeah. And he's looking at it, and I half expected this motherfucker to crawl out of there.
Yeah, right? Just like somehow
makes it out.
Awesome. Yeah.
And he is just crushed by this. His dad is dead. Oh my God. Anyway, we got this Green Lantern man talking to Sinestro, and he's like, "Hey man, there's some weird shit going on." And he's like, "The Guardians are silent as a whole planet was wiped out by the mysterious thing." And then like
it really feels like Whiplash when they cut away from like human drama to this
like
bullshit.
Weird, yeah, it does, doesn't it? So his ring is blinking, and he's like, "Oh shit, there's danger around."
Phone call.
And then boom, this explosion happens, and this
my dad died.
The future Green Lantern's dad died.
Yeah.
This ghost demon tries to get him. Actually, that's a good point. Like, is this supposed to be in the modern era now?
I'm wondering.
It probably
how
flashed
old is
forward.
Sinestro?
Sinestro's probably pretty old.
groom like
No.
Okay, good.
So no, this must be modern times.
Good. Just like the beer you're drinking.
The beer I'm drinking. Yes, exactly. So he falls through this hole, and the I wrote phalanx goes, which is not. It's parallax.
Phalanx.
Because I'm like, parallax is such a stupid name.
I hate that name.
Parallax demon tries to get him. It's just now a huge demon. It used to be like a person with like a big alien head. Right. Kind of like a Watcher, to be honest. And he tries escaping Guardian. Whatever. Who cares? And then this Abin Sur guy who beat him last time gets fucking messed up. And you know who plays Abin Sur?
No.
The dude who plays Boba Fett.
I don't know who Abin Sur is, to be totally honest with you.
Tamara Morrison. He's the guy who plays Boba Fett in Book of Boba Fett.
Right.
And he was the clone.
He was in the clones. Yeah.
He was that. So he's the original Green Lantern. Which I think is fun. I think it's good. That guy got some work.
Didn't he play
and do
Jango
basically
Fett?
Nothing. Yeah, he played Jango Fett. Yeah.
Come on, man.
Well, he was Boba Fett in the Book of Boba Fett.
That's true.
Which is the real series. Let's be honest.
That's the one everyone loves.
Yeah, man. He rides that Rancor. It's cool. It's awesome. Great show.
Yeah, but he's in this.
Wish the Mandalorian was in it more, though. He's only in 2 whole episodes.
Well, it was just a whole series about the Mandalorian. Anyway.
That's ridiculous. Come on now. Anyway, so yeah, this guy's obviously injured. He's like, "I gotta go get out of here." So then Ryan Reynolds wakes up. We're finally Ryan Reynolds at like
finally
fucking 15
this is what I've been
minutes
wanting.
into the movie. He wakes up next to a blonde lady, and he's like, "Oh, I'm running late." And he's got to go, just like in the first part of the movie. He almost crashes his car. He calls the guy who almost crashes into him an asshole, even though he's the one who's driving like an asshole. He's basically to his lady. He's like, "Oh, hey, let yourself out. There's water in the tap." And then he leaves.
Oh, okay.
He's a real charmer.
He's a real crusty guy. This dude. What's he late for?
He's got to go do a test at his job, which is basically the exact same job his dad had. But he has to test out a mock trial of fighting these AI planes. They're driven by AI.
AI.
I know.
They called it, man.
They called it, dude. Yeah, this is totally what. Yeah, this is totally a large. It's really crazy when the plane started painting
things with 5 fingers.
Things
6
with
fingers.
5 fingers. Yeah. black Nazis. Yeah, all that good stuff. Yep. It was really strange when that happened. So then he's like, all right, well, I got to test it. So basically for this contract to go through, he's got to make sure that like the AI planes beat him. So he meets Blake Lively, who's like, hey, I'm Carol. Just to let you know. I'm Carol. You shouldn't do this. He's like, I know, Carol.
I'm Carol, and you better not forget it.
Don't do this.
Yeah.
I'm Carol.
I'm Carol, and you're Hal.
These guys are going to beat the shit out of you. These AI are really good. Yeah. And, Taika Waititi's there.
What does Taika do? What is his job?
He programs. He's the one who made the planes, basically. He programmed it. It seemed like
he's friends with Hal?
He worked with Hal, yes.
Okay.
So he's the one who's going to be, like, monitoring this, and then they got the military
I'm
there.
going to direct a Thor movie.
Exactly. He's going to direct 2 Thor movies. Mm-hmm. One better than the other.
Yeah, we all know which one's the best one.
Love and Thunder.
Say it at the same time. That's right, Love and Thunder.
Uh-huh. So he then goes, he's like, I'm a little scamp, and we're going to go fly. We're going to go fly with Blake Lively, who's also a pilot. Mm-hmm. Everyone's just fucking pilots, whatever's convenient. They all just didn't do anything besides hang out with their dads and become pilots.
That's all their lives were. Well, I mean, Hal didn't get to hang out with his dad for too long.
You're probably going to hang out with Blake's dad.
Yeah, probably.
So they're flying around.
Carol, come on, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
Her name's Carol.
Sorry, Carol's not a very compelling character.
That's right. But Blake Lively, she's very compelling.
Blake Lively is an entrepreneur. All right? She has made a product, and she has shipped it and sold it, and I have sipped it
as well.
I have sipped it.
Is it good?
It's fine.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's a cute idea if you want to have like a non-alcoholic beverage that you can mix with things that are alcoholic. So if your non-drinking friends can have something to drink too, and you can have something to drink too.
Wow, and we are sponsored by this product. Is that right?
Buzz and Betty, I think.
I think. Go to buzzandbetty.com
go to buzzandbetty.com
/ the other half.
And you'll get yourself a 10% discount.
Or use coupon code Carol.
Carol's a buzzin'.
That's right.
So anyway, they're doing flight. It seems like he uses her as like a little decoy, actually. He's actually kind of a scoundrel.
Oh, he's a real scam.
And then he like realizes that the combat zone is about like 50,000 feet in the air, like the limit. So he flies straight up to stall out the expensive new planes, including his plane.
Oh, man.
And he quote unquote blows them up in the test simulation and wins.
Right. So he won.
But he's trying to he's going down. He's flying down. He's trying to get control of the airplane again. He's in a weird tailspin. There's a weird warning light. It's like, oh shit, he's going to die.
Is he going to die?
And then he gets
Hal going to die?
Then he gets these flashbacks from the scene we just saw 10 minutes ago.
Of his dad?
The entire fucking scene.
What is this, Rocky?
Yeah, honestly. But at least that was another movie.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the whole...
From 10 minutes
ago, they're like, want to
we just needed flashes. We remember.
We just needed a flash or two,
Yeah.
but they did the whole thing. And anyway, he can't get it together. He can't correct the plane, so he ejects and the plane explodes. Mm-hmm. Very expensive. Bob, the guy who's running this, is very upset. He's like, you broke the rules. I'm going to have to lay off most of my company because of this.
Wow.
Why?
Because
they lost the contract, and they fucking lost an expensive-ass plane.
That's pretty impressive, yeah.
Like...
Well, good job, Hal.
I know, and I'm like, well, now you're endangering people's like livelihoods, so fuck you.
Yeah, bad guy.
I can, you're a little late, you're a little rude sometimes,
but
I could forgive that. But as soon as you start laying people off, that
who would never do that? Hector.
Hector would never do that.
Hector would never do that.
Where is Hector, by the way?
We'll
find out.
I'm curious. I want to know where that little scamp is, little Hector.
A little scamp guy, little Hector scamp.
Yeah. He probably like jumps out of a bed with a blonde in it too, and he's like, water's in the tap. Jumps on his fucking motorcycle, flips off an old lady.
It's really funny though, because the boss is like, you're fired immediately, but Carol's like, no, you can't, you're not fired. And he's like, yeah, well, I quit. And he's like, no, you're not quitting. She's like trying to hold the whole thing together. I'm like, fucking let this guy go.
Yeah,
this other guy is like, I watch your back, man. And he's like, oh, it's impossible. I'm like, what?
Fuck
Every
off.
so often he jokes and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right.
Work.
Because it just seems like he's too serious of a character.
Right. What we need is that snark.
We need that
Deadpool snark.
Well, the thing about Deadpool is at least he's just going to be annoying.
He needs to look in the camera and say, geez, look at this fucking freak over here.
You know what?
Look at that jerk off.
It's not my style of humor all the time, but at least it works more than just this guy who's just so bland.
Yeah, that's true.
And is trying to make a joke.
I agree with you. He puts on the ring. He's like, let's fucking go.
I wish. So then she comes up to him and was like, what's wrong with you? Did you choke? He's like, you
it's impossible. I didn't have anything in my mouth at the time.
He's like, you were a good pilot. And now you're working behind the desk. I'm like, wasn't she up there in the flight?
She was
thing?
also behind the desk.
I thought she was behind that, but whatever.
Well, she was never a good pilot.
I guess. He's like, you're a damn good pilot, and you're just stuck back here.
Yeah.
And she's like, let's not focus on my career. You're the one who basically just blew up stuff and blew up your career.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're back to the fucking Boba Fett Green Lantern. He's basically dead. He lands on planet Earth, and he says, "Choose well," to this Tinkerbell green thing that just flies away, which I thought was the ring, but I think it's just something from the ring.
Okay. If only there was a narrator that could pop in and tell us.
I know. If only Deadpool popped up and was like, all right, so you audience, you dumb shits, may be thinking about this, but I had a chimichanga the other day, and I
farted!
So he goes home, and he just argues with his brothers. It's his nephew's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
Jason is his nephew.
Jason
is very happy. He's home. He's like, I'm glad you're alive.
I never see his brothers.
Let me tell you, he's just fucking... Hal Jordan cannot catch a break. He just keeps saying bullshit. He's just so snarky. He's like, this birthday sucks. Go have fun at it. And he's like, no, I want to make sure you're okay. And he's like, all right, look, listen. No matter how much some things suck, there's always something
that can suck
cool out over the horizon. And this is the most like genuine thing he's basically said this whole time we've seen this whole movie. And then the green Tinkerbell comes out of the window and hits him in the chest. And you think he'd be like, oh my God, this is crazy. No, nothing happens. He just keeps ignoring it and talks to the kid. And he's like, I got you your birthday present. It's his model plane. He's like, oh, cool. Now go to your lame birthday party. And then he's like, go hang out at the birthday party. There was no kids, by the way. It was all adults. I thought it was a birthday party for Hal Jordan.
Yeah, I know. It's
not.
Little
it's for the little kid. There's no kids around.
Weird.
They probably had too strict of labor laws, so they didn't hire any more kids.
Yeah. It's probably nighttime or something, right?
He says, go hang out at this party, and you know what he does? He fucking leaves. Hal Jordan just fucking gets in his car and leaves immediately.
Where does he have to go?
I don't know, but he's like, I'm out of here.
It's his brother's birthday.
It's his nephew's birthday.
Oh, okay,
but
nephew.
yeah, it's like, why wouldn't you go hang out at your nephew's birthday, who seem to have a connection with? The movie seems to try to sell you that
I never see this little kid again.
Really?
Never
Are you
again.
fucking kidding me?
No, I never see him again. I never see any of Hal's family ever again.
My God! Because, like, your setup, this is so long, by the way, dude. We're like 20, 30 minutes into the movie.
I didn't know he had a family. I thought he was like all on his
own.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, none of it matters.
None of it matters. Well, it doesn't matter because now he gets fucking sucked up by this green bubble.
Oh, yeah. And we've all been there.
He gets sent to the old Green Lantern.
He had too many chimichangas.
Too many chimichangas.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my God, you're cut up. What's going on, man? Are you okay? I'm gonna heal you. Wow, you got purple blood. That's crazy." And he's like, "The ring chose you. Take it. Put it in the lantern here. Speak the oath." And I'm like, "What the fuck? This is a hell of a way to introduce the audience to this crazy ass concept."
Basically, feels like the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird.
It is weird. Yeah.
Just like the beginning of this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It continues.
Yeah.
Ryan Reynolds fucking calls Tom, Taika Waititi's character, and is like, come pick me up. Like, you got to check out this guy. And he's like, wow, that really is an alien. And then the cops show up and they leave and they run away. They take the lantern, the ring, they drive away. And then we cut to Sinestro, who's like, a great light has gone out of the universe. 2 worlds annihilated by an unknown enemy, he tells the Watchers. But they are like, whatever. And he's like, you guys don't seem to care about this? And he's like, there's much you do not know, Sinestro. And he's like, do you think this enemy can defeat us? He's like, I don't know. The Watchers like, I don't know.
They're Guardians, by the way. They're not Watchers.
I couldn't call them Watchers forever.
All right, that's fine.
Because they're watching. Because I don't see them doing shit.
They ain't guarding nothing.
They ain't guarding shit.
Yeah.
They got like other people to do their stuff for them.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure the Watchers were Marvel, but whatever.
I was going to say.
It's basically
the same thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
So we cut to this guy playing chess. It's your boy Hector.
My boy.
He's playing chess.
He's playing chess like a fucking pimp.
He's got articles about Carol doing stuff, you know.
He's a creep.
He
loves playing chess.
I mean, you'd keep tabs on your old childhood friends. Sure, why not?
Yeah, that's right. I like to just collect news clippings about all of my childhood crushes.
If your childhood friends did something cool, then maybe, I would keep, you keep tabs on them on Facebook nowadays.
That's true. That's true. But this is different.
This is different, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think he's creepy yet.
He's all right. Fine.
He's not creepy yet. He just looks creepy.
He does look creepy.
He's just basically
that haircut's not doing anything for him.
He really needs to just shave it and go home.
Yeah.
So then he gets fucking people knock on his door. He gets blindfolded and taken to a secret facility. He meets Amanda Waller, played by Angela Bassett, and she's like, "We got some secret protocols you'd be good at." And I'm like, "What would you be good at?" And she shows him an alien, the first of its kind on Earth, despite the conspiracy theories you may have heard. And he's like, "I'm so obsessed with aliens. This is awesome." And I'm like, "What are you doing here?" Like, why are you here, bro? What are your credentials?
He likes aliens, bro.
That's all I heard him is as a little kid. He was like, "Ooh, I like aliens." And now he's a doctor and it's like, we need him for aliens. Why? She doesn't even say like you're an expert in your field. You're the best. She's
what
just like,
field would you be an expert in to look up aliens?
I don't fucking know.
You are our premier ufologist.
Yeah, it's like, what is going on? And by the way, you're our premier alienologist. By the way, we've never had aliens on here before.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
What is going? It's so.
They only invite him, I think, because Amanda Waller is friends with his dad.
Sure. And it's like a call me in your favor, like, my son is really into aliens. Yeah. He just plays chess in his basement all day and has pictures of his friend Carol everywhere. But he really likes aliens.
He's a cool guy though. He likes aliens.
The first time you ever see an alien ever in your life, you should probably call him.
He seems like the best dude to talk to aliens.
The best dude to talk to him.
Yeah.
So
he's got it all together.
He's like, "Oh, this is amazing." He starts doing like an examination. I guess he like cuts like is gonna like I'm gonna cut him up. During this time, Hal Jordan is trying to get the lantern to work. So he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna say the oath. What oath?" And he like tries to tap the lantern, doesn't work. But then he touches it in a weird spot, and he knows the oath
by heart.
Green Lantern oath, which the audience will recite for you just right now.
In darkest day and blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. I wish I may, I wish I might.
If the Green Lantern take my soul tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
We got it. I knew we had it.
We did it. We do it.
And then, so he gets the Green Lantern power. But during the same time, Hector's like excavating into this little dude's body. And he touches the wound.
Like, look how tiny this guy's
he touches the
is.
wound that guy got, which was from Parallax.
Parallax.
And he gets the weird little yellow thing gets in on him. And it takes, it's just like Hal Jordan, he doesn't really react to it.
Right.
It must be just some weird
Maybe he didn't
thing.
notice.
He didn't notice at all. So Hal goes... Carol arrives after he becomes the Green Lantern and is like, "Hey, you want to get a drink or you want to talk?" And Hal's like, "Let's get a drink." I need a drink.
Want a drink? Want to talk?
Want a drink? Want to talk? And
want to get a talk?
Yeah. And Hector's so excited about this like alien. He's like, "I want to tell people about this, like the public." And Mandalorian's like, "You can't do that. We and you both like to work within the system.
Right.
We have to work around the boundaries of the system, even though we are people who love discovering things."
Right.
So Hal is at the bar with Carol and is like, "Do you think I'm a responsible person?" And she laughs a lot because obviously he's not.
Right.
That's the one character trait.
They have such good chemistry. These two.
Totally.
I feel like they should get married. They get married. Yeah, exactly.
The song
oozing off the screen.
"Come Softly." Yeah, it's kind of wild when people are actually in a relationship. Like, it feels so dead.
I know, in movies for some reason.
Weird.
Yeah. So something with the music playing?
"Come Softly to Me" starts playing.
Oh, come on, man.
I know. And then Hal Jordan's like, "You gotta dance to our song." And then they dance a little bit, even though she doesn't want to. And he's like, "Look, I want to say I'm sorry." And she's like, "Don't worry. The contract's still in play." And he's like, "No, I wanted to say I'm sorry for being like a jerk to you." And yeah. And then she's like, "Well, if you're being vulnerable right now, like I went over every inch of that flight data and there wasn't anything wrong with the plane. Are you okay? Did you choke?" And he's like, "Oh, thanks for the dance." And then he leaves. He's like so insecure by that.
Sure, about being scared.
So she doesn't chase him or anything. He just goes off. He goes to his car, and then these three dudes come and start beating the shit out of him. And I was like, "Wait, why? And who are these people? What's happening?"
I love it. Just
why is Carol not even
people.
there?
Yeah.
Well, it turns out it's people who were fired because of him.
That honestly fair.
And I'm like, you know what? These people are all right.
Yeah, those are good guys.
These people are cool.
That's cool then.
So then they start beating him up, and he's like pretty beat up. They walk away. They're like, they just want to send him a message. They just want to get their anger out.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, you done? Well, my face is just getting warmed up." And then he goes to punch him, and a giant green fucking hand appears and knocks them all away, smashing some of them into a wall.
Jesus.
Basically are probably dead.
They're dead.
Yeah.
They got laid off and now they're dead.
So then
Thanks, Hal.
Thanks, Hal.
Yeah.
So then he gets swept up in this blue ball or green ball. Why did I say blue?
I don't know.
Green ball. And gets sucked up into the air.
I know what you're thinking about blue balls. Yeah. With this movie?
This movie's all blue balls. Yeah. You're like, I want to see something cool, and you're just not going to get it.
You're not going to get it. Yeah,
I was told there'd be a good movie in here, and you're not.
Yeah,
it's
not
there.
Yeah.
So he gets sucked up in this green ball, and he flies away into the fucking...
to Munchkin Land.
To Munchkin Land, basically.
Yeah.
Dude.
What happened next, man? I'm on the edge of my seat.
Are you on the edge of your seat?
Yeah, man. I'm on pins and needles over here. Tell me what happens next to good old Hal Jordan.
When he goes away, my thought was like, okay, so he used his powers for the first time.
Right.
But he used it in a bad way, right? He beat up people that were innocent.
Yes.
You know, like they beat him up a little bit, but like they were done. He wasn't doing self-defense anymore. They were walking away.
Right. And also, that's not self-defense. It's like pulling a gun out, and shooting people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's basically that.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, he'll get
tried.
He'll get tried. They'll be like, hey,
there'll be a whole.
You're a Green Lantern now. You can only do good things.
Right. No.
Never comes into play again. Never talks about it. By the way, during this time while he's flying up to this planet, Hector's having like the craziest wet dream. Like, he's just freaking out. He's just like, yellow.
This actor, the Peter Sarsgaard,
not Sarsgaard.
He's killing it. I love him.
He's giving it his all.
I love it. He's the best in this movie.
So Hal Jordan flies past the satellite, just there's a satellite there, and there are astronauts working on it.
They don't even see him.
No, they see him, but like there are astronauts working on a satellite.
Oh yeah,
just by itself, like there's no ship near it.
There's no ship around. Yeah, they get there.
They're just living there, I guess, on the satellite. Like what the fuck?
Help!
Unless it was a space station. It didn't look big enough to be the space station. I think it was just a satellite.
You would have seen a space station, probably.
It felt like a satellite, not a space station. Anyway,
that's
so
no satellite.
Then he appears. He's in his undies on a weird little ship. And suddenly he's in his Green Lantern suit. It's very form-fitting. He has like some cool practice punches, and then we see this weird fish man.
Oh yeah, the fish man. What's his name?
Tomar Ray.
Oh, good old Tomar.
Played by Jeffrey Rush.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, and he says the voice.
And he says, "Oh, looks like your translator's working. Are you done showing off?" He's like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "Don't worry, you don't need the mask here. You only need the mask when it's useful to keep your identity hidden." Does he ever put the mask on again?
Yeah.
Do you think it works?
You know what? There's a really funny scene about that coming up, and I can't wait to tell you about it.
I'm so excited for a funny scene coming up.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
So they say, "Welcome to the OA. We're keepers of the peace for the Watchers." I'm still going to say the Watchers.
That's fine, man.
That's what I wrote down.
That's cool. You're just going to get a bunch of comic book nerds coming after you.
You know what? Give me the engagement, baby. So they...
Speaking of engagement, did you hear that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds got married after this movie?
And they both own alcoholic companies.
Exactly.
Do you think that they're like, use my Buzzin' Betty's and put it in with your aviation gin and have yourself a great little drink?
That's right.
All money, baby.
I definitely.
Now we can fund our husband's football dreams.
Aviation gin, and they met on set when he was supposed to be an aviator in the movie.
Is that really when they met for this movie?
Yes, this is where they met on the set of this movie.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, see, it's a great movie.
Maybe that's why they had awkward chemistry.
That's probably why they were like, I don't
know.
Maybe what to do.
Maybe I do like you a little bit, Mr. Ryan Reynolds. I was in Gossip Girl. I won't gossip about our relationship, though.
Piss girl.
Yeah, she should have the yellow color.
Yeah, that's right.
Too much fear. I don't know how they got along with all that fear going through her veins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then...
Just cut yourself off there.
So then, anyway, he's like, we're going to go fly around now, says Fishman. And he's like, cool, I'm flying. It's like, did you know that green is the color of will? It's the strongest source of energy in the universe.
I love this shit.
He meets up with the other Guardians, but he can't understand any of them. And I'm like, what the fuck is the point of this translation thing? They all speak like weird languages and stuff.
Yeah, man.
Sinestro shows up. He's like, I'm Mark Strong. This is an unprecedented meeting because our greatest warrior... Abin Sur, whose light can never be replaced, just died against a horrible villain. Everyone looks at fucking
Ryan
Reynolds' character because they know he'll never live up to this guy.
That's right.
He's gonna suck.
He's got big shoes to fill.
He's like, we're gonna seek out and fight the enemy. One by one, we can be defeated, but all together, we could destroy Parallax. And then He's getting training from the fish guy now. Suddenly, this whole section's so disjointed. It's like, okay, I guess we're gonna train now.
Right.
He's like, the power of the ring turns your will and thoughts into reality. So whatever you think, it can happen. The ring's only limit is your imagination.
Wow.
So
he immediately imagines like Carol.
Oh man. So he tries making something out of his will, but he just doesn't have any. And then out of the blue, he's like, or the fish man's like, danger could come anywhere. And then he gets fucking shot in the side, and it's like,
damn.
Here is your combat trainer, Kilowog, played by Michael Clark Duncan.
Hell yeah. R.I.P. man.
R.I.P. He's here.
He was apparently a big fan of the Green Lantern comic book series.
I'm sorry he didn't get to see a better version of it.
I'm also sorry he didn't fucking play Green Lantern, because there was like a really cool black Green Lantern
that's
guy.
True.
Yeah.
Just like Spider-Man. You gotta start with the white one, though.
I guess so. The
for some
boring ass white one. Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, it's woke, dude.
That's true. Yeah, even though it was in the comic books, it would be woke otherwise.
It'd be woke,
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah, he's here. He does some training. He keeps calling him Poozer. Does he call you Poozer at all?
I never hear Poozer.
I love Poozer because it's my favorite streaming service, and it's streaming Green Lantern right now.
That's right.
But with ads.
Of course.
Obviously. Poozer definitely has it.
And only the director's cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's like, this power, the ring is powered by your will, and your will is pathetic. And he gets punched around and tosses him around a lot. By the way, every time Kilowog is on screen, the music score changes to kind of like heavy metal, and it's got like a really heavy slapping bass. It's like, this is the tough guys here.
Yeah.
The tough mean guys here. What were we gonna say?
I was just gonna say it's funny that they keep repeating your only limitation is your imagination. Like they keep repeating it. Like we're gonna forget. We're
gonna forget the main cool thing about
the ring. Yeah, exactly.
He gets tossed around, punched in the face. Eventually figures out a way to kind of beat Kilowog by throwing him around differently. It doesn't fucking matter, man. This scene's so boring. The fight's so boring.
I don't know why you keep talking about it.
I don't know why either. I'm almost done with my half, and I can't wait.
I can't wait either.
Sinestro appears and is like, you're Hal Jordan. Well, when they said the ring picked you, I thought it was a lie.
Yeah. I'm Sinestro.
And you're not impressive at all. In fact, we're, I won't tolerate a weak link, because that's the weakest link in our corpse. Defines our whole strength.
Yeah. That's a really strong shit right there, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Quote it word for word.
Yeah.
And he's like, are you afraid? And then he pushes him. And he's like, and fucking Hal's like, don't do that shit.
He's about to cry.
Don't do that shit.
Yeah.
He's like, are you scared? He seems to annoy him a lot.
Yeah.
He's like, why don't you fucking fight me? And they both pull out swords. He's like,
whoa.
Swords, how human of you. Because he's the first human, I guess, of this whole thing.
Right.
And he's like, I smell fear. Fear is the enemy of will. And did you know, with will, you can do anything with the rings.
Wow. I wish I knew that. That's so cool. I'm learning so much more.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway, you insult his memory by wearing his ring, and he beats him, and he flies away.
Man, and
it's into my house.
The first thing I hear is Hal say, I'm done. And I'm like, oh, sweet. Okay, cool. And he's like, the ring made a mistake, and a little fish boy is like, yo, ring never makes a mistake, man. But it's too late, because Hal has lost complete confidence, and he takes the ring off. And he's very
Which
upset.
is interesting, because this whole time, if you got sucked out of your world, your life, your nephew, your family, whatever.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're on an alien planet, and you're just like, this is cool.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be like, man, I kind of want to go home. Like, what's going on in my family? Like, why am I?
He didn't even want to hang out at his nephew's birthday, though.
He totally is like, yeah, I guess you're right.
You would be the kind of person.
He totally just took the oath. He's just like, I guess I'll take the oath, whatever.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, why not? He really isn't questioning any of this. It seems like a huge responsibility.
Well, but remember, he doesn't like responsibility. That's already been established.
So why did he take a fucking oath then?
That's a great question.
It doesn't make any sense. His character just is like exists and accepts whatever happens to him.
Yeah,
even though
true.
it seems that his one defining character trait is, I don't want to be responsible, and I'm scarred by watching my dad incinerate in a fire.
Right.
Well, so I want to do the same thing, and I don't know. I can't believe I choked when planes get weird.
Man, I don't know what to tell you. Like he's a tragic hero, man. I don't know what to say.
He's a tragically written hero.
Exactly. So we cut to creepy-looking bald teacher with a bad wig. I wrote. I learned this is Hector, and he can hear his students' thoughts, and they all hate him. And so he uses his telekinesis. I guess he has telekinesis now. To send one of his students flying into the sky, and he tests his blood, and he sees that some weird shit's happening with his blood.
Yummy.
And then he gets a little text from his dad, and his dad's like, "Hey, meet me in my office." And so he goes to his dad's office, and his dad is I just wrote evil government man. And
it's true. Well, he's an evil government contractor man.
Yeah, exactly. And so he's like, "Hey, I want you to get on some kind of like study about this like alien thing or whatever, because then you can just like feed me information,
Okay, so he did send him up and was like, "Hey, son." Okay, that makes
basically.
sense.
And then he says, "Well, Dad, like this is my dream, but like there's definitely people that are more qualified." And he's like, "Well, yeah, but you've got connections, so you're gonna do it." Basically.
Damn, he's a nepo baby.
And then he hears in his dad's head like, "That kid's never going anywhere." And it's like, yeah. So then
what a curse.
I know, truly. Honestly, this is what it's like to just have negative self-talk all the time, right?
Yeah, but it's actually worse because it's confirmed.
Real. Yeah, exactly. So we cut to space. Sinestro's talking to the Guardians, and they learn that the Lanterns are not strong enough to defeat an alien monster. And I wrote down, Sinestro tells a bunch of monkey Mars attacks aliens that they were defeated by...
So they already had the fight, and they already tried to fight?
And they fight, and they lost.
Parallax, do you see it?
Yeah. They finally lose.
They just get all fucking wiped out really quick?
Pretty much, yeah. They all either die or fly away.
So I guess they all got to get new lanterns then.
So the monkey Mars attacks aliens are they're just like, that's pretty rough. And they're like, "Look, man, so here's what went down. One of us entered Sauron to defeat it, but then he was naive and afraid, and he became Parallax, and that's why Parallax is the thing." And I'm just like, what the fuck? How are we supposed to care about any of this shit? Like, this is a fucking alien, went to another alien, and was afraid, and then became a bad villain. Like, who gives a shit?
Like, this is definitely one of those things where, comic books are written for kids.
It's so true, dude.
Like, kids. Like the fact that it's like fear and will and like the power of will. It's just like, it's so surface level, and I think
all comic books are for
that's
kids.
The thing, though.
But
that's the thing, though. Is like I think a lot of times they're kind of spoiled because nowadays, like even with the grittier series or whatever, like at least they look a little bit beyond what the surface level of like good, bad, fear, will. It dives in a little bit deeper and like actually gets into some more interesting metaphors than just what's basically the most surface level thing, which is Hal Jordan is scared he's gonna die like his dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
sure.
There's aliens, and they're afraid of fear too. Yeah. Fear
is the mind killer.
Exactly.
But it's not. It's the real killer. It's called Parallax.
It's Parallax.
It's gonna kill millions of people.
So apparently, Parallax was created and then was imprisoned somehow.
But like, why does Parallax want to kill everyone?
Because he was overcome by the fear.
So he's just scared.
He's afraid.
So it's like when Godzilla gets scared and stomps out Tokyo. It's like, he just
I don't know, man. I don't know why Parallax is doing anything. But now he's escaped the prison, and now he's angry at everyone.
Yeah,
that's why he's trying to kill everybody. It's because he was imprisoned, and so he's planning revenge. And so they're like, "We must forge a yellow ring." And I'm like, "What in the fuck is going on?"
Why?
Because they're like, the yellow ring would be strong enough to destroy Parallax. Is what they're saying.
But that's a fear ring.
Yes. That would destroy Parallax, but that might also
fight fear
corrupt.
With fear?
Yeah, that's what they're saying, man. That's what they're saying. I don't know. So there's a party. Baldy Hector's there, runs into Hal. It's a party being thrown by Hector's dad. They also run into Carol, and I just learned that they've got history. Carol hugs Hector, who is a creep, and sniffs her hair and says, like, "Hey, I met an alien the other day." And Carol's like, "Okay."
Yeah, he's a confirmed creep.
Yeah. Hector hears his dad's negative thoughts about him. And so his dad jumps in a little helicopter.
Wait, what about his, like, does he hear, like, man,
he doesn't hear anything from Carol, which is hysterical because I know if he could.
I think it's really funny. Maybe he just can't read women.
He definitely can't. Yeah. He can only read men.
Yeah.
So he reads his dad's mind, and his dad's like, "That fucking stupid idiot. But he's a tiny penis." And then.
Does it really say that?
No, he doesn't. That would be insane if the movie did that.
I don't know, man. This movie could go anywhere.
So, no, he just reads his dad's mind. And then his dad jumps into a little helicopter, and using his telekinesis, Hector crashes the helicopter or like it blows up one of the like engines or whatever, and the helicopter starts spinning and like dives down, and it nearly crashes into a bunch of people, and it's heading straight towards Carol, and then Hal has to save her life, so he puts on the ring and he turns all green, and he turns.
How did Hal get back to Earth?
He just went to Earth.
Just back to Earth.
He just went to Earth.
They just like, I guess. I mean, he could fly.
He could fly. He could breathe, I guess, now in space using the rig. So
okay, sure.
Yeah. So there he is. So, any more questions? This movie's fucking flawless. So if you have any more questions, and I have no problem answering them.
Okay, so is he trying to kill his dad, or was he just kind of just?
He was trying to kill his dad.
Okay, got it.
But Hal was there, and Hal's a good guy. And so he saves the dad and Carol, turns the helicopter into like a Hot Wheels car, and then he makes like a Hot Wheels track.
There's a scene earlier where he's in the nephew's room, and he just presses one of the buttons and makes a Hot Wheel car fly off the track.
There you go. And so he saves Carol's life, saves everyone's life, and people like catch him on camera. And then Hector goes back to his apartment, and Hector's drunk. And he starts transforming into like a werewolf, but then his head starts to like expand. All right. Now I want you to look up what he looks like. Just type in Hector Green Lantern movie. And just tell me what you think he looks like. This is going to be very exciting for the audience.
Oh. Oh my.
That's what he looks like the rest of the movie.
Oh my God.
He looks like a giant testicle. He looks like Mr. Hyde from the Mummy movie.
No. Mr. Hyde did not nearly morph as much as this guy.
Look how gross he looks. But he's got like veins in his head. His head's all misshapen.
He looks like Megamind, but gross.
He looks like, yeah, exactly. He looks like Megamind's testicles.
Yeah.
He looks gross.
Oh,
and that's what he looks like the rest of the movie. He looks like Rubber Johnny. He's ridiculous. So that's what he looks like. Taika shows up, and he goes to, not at Hector's place. He shows up at Hal's place. And he's like, hey, Hal, I want to see the suit. And so he puts on the suit. He shows him the suit. He shows him that the ring needs to be charged by a lantern. I don't know why he shows him. I don't know why the movie's showing us that the ring needs to be charged by a lantern. It doesn't ever come up again.
Well, it's in the books.
It's in the book, so it should be mentioned, I guess.
Yeah.
Hal flies to Carol's place. And at first, she doesn't recognize him. She's like, oh, who? Oh, you saved my life. And Hal's putting on like a voice. He's like, and he's wearing the mask, by the way. He's wearing the mask, and he's like, yes, I just came back to, say goodbye. And she's like, I just wanted to say thank you. And she gets a little closer, and then she looks at him, and she goes, Hal? And he goes, what? No, what? No, who's Hal? And she goes, you're Hal. And he's like, no, I'm not. She goes, do you think I would recognize you if you cover up your cheekbones?
Yeah.
Which is right.
Yeah.
And it's at this moment I'm like, this movie rocks.
Oh, yeah?
Because she's right.
That's the only thing?
That's all that matters.
Okay,
she's not dumb enough to fucking fall for this weird, fucking spaceman fucking, superhero bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's great. It's great. And then she's like, I've seen you naked, dude. Like, I know who you are. Like, just because you cover your eyes up doesn't mean I don't notice who you are anymore.
It's true.
It's great. I love that part. That part rocks. He explains everything to her. He's like, look, I got this ring. There's these guys. Like, just sort of explains.
I have a lot of responsibility suddenly. Like, the most I ever had in my entire life.
And he's like, I just have to focus. He materializes a little necklace for her. She wears it. And he's like, yeah, he's like, I quit being a space cop, basically. I didn't want to do it anymore. And she's like, you quit everything. You shouldn't do that,
She's right.
Yeah. So Hector Balsack
That's wild that he still gets the powers after you quit.
Well, you have the ring.
I guess, but the ring feels like it can just kind of choose wherever it wants to go. So it
chooses, and it's never wrong.
Oh shit! So it's just like, I'll stick around until you figure it out.
I think so. I think that's where he goes. I mean, yeah, take the ring away from him, I guess. But
wow, the first thing in this movie that makes sense.
This movie's flawless. So Hector Balsack is brought to see his dad, and he's like, I've never felt better in my life. And Hector potion.
Dad's like, do you have cancer? Like brain cancer?
So I wrote down potion seller Hector strapped to a table. But he uses telekinesis to escape. And
these telekinesis powers are too strong for you.
Telekinesis powers, please, potion seller. I need the telekinesis powers.
You cannot handle the telekinesis powers that I sell.
Looks like. So he uses his telekinesis to fucking kill his shitty dad by fucking tossing him across the room and then like pointing some weird fire like shooters at him, and they fucking just like light him up. He's dead. Then the Green Lantern shows up somehow. I don't know why the Green Lantern knows where Hector is. I don't know how he knows that bad things are going on, but he shows up, beats up Hector, but then Hector beats the Green Lantern up, and then Hector touches Hal's head, and he can see his memories. He knows who he is.
Oh, shit.
And then apparently Hal can touch the ring to Hector's head, and he sees that inside Hector's head is a giant alien. And the giant alien in space is like, I'm coming to kill all of you. Its head is in his hands. He truly can. It's fucking rocks, dude. This shit fucking rocks. Like, it's stupid.
I feel like I'm watching Shark Boy and Lava Girl all over again. A movie literally written by a child.
Yeah, I know. It's right. It's like, I get like Hector has got telekinesis and can touch people's heads. Like, at one point, oh my God, this part was awful. Hector touches Angela Bassett's head and can see that like her dad was like murdered by cops.
Oh shit!
For like being a black man.
Oh no!
Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ. This movie's just gonna go there for like.
Oh damn! He's like that's why
seconds.
She's working on the inside. She's got to work around those lines. She's probably taking it down, dude.
Suicide Squad, baby. Yeah. But then just the fucking the ring touching Hector's head. And then the alien just dropping his entire plan, like, I'm gonna come fucking kill you, Mr. Green Lantern Man. Like, why? Why does that happen? Why does he even talk to the Green Lantern? Who fucking cares?
So Hector has a telekinetic link to Parallax.
Because of the
stuff that got
inside of him. Yes, exactly. He's been infected. That's why he looks like a giant ball sack.
But he's all like, he's still got yellow vibes, right?
He's got the yellow eyes, yes.
He's got yellow eyes.
Yeah.
Is he scared of anything?
No. He's not afraid of anything.
He doesn't seem to be.
No. It's too powerful.
The fear powers him.
Yeah. So
fear is hate.
He was already afraid of everything.
I guess that's true.
Fear. Hate leads to suffering.
Suffering.
Clearly what's happening here.
Leads to big ball brain.
Big old ball head. So anyway, Hal goes to Carol and Taika and he's like, bro, I'm fucking scared. And Carol's like, fucking man up already. And Hal's like, okay. So then Hector goes back to his apartment. And this part was the funniest shit to me. Like, on top of everything else, imagine being like a big ball sack head and you just killed your dad and you're like, I got to get back to my apartment now. It's just like, do you get in a car? Like, do you drive? Do you take a Uber? Like, how do you get back to your apartment after all of that? From a fucking like government facility? I don't know. But anyway, he gets back to his apartment.
He can't fly?
No, he's a fucking ball sack head. He can't do anything.
Oh, I was thinking about the other character.
No.
I forgot. He has telekinetic powers. I just assume he can do whatever.
No, man. So he just goes back to his place, and the alien voice in his head is like, you gotta kill the Green Lantern. And Hector's like, I
don't want to.
I'm so afraid. So then Hal arrives in space, and he goes to Sinestro, and he's like, bro, I need your help saving my world. And then he was also talking to like the Guardians, and he's like, yo, the yellow ring is dangerous and it's an act of fear, and you shouldn't act in fear, you should act in bravery, and it's wrong to act in fear. And the aliens are like, nah man, we gotta fucking destroy this fucking alien, bro. And then Hal's like, I'm not asking you to do anything, I would just want to let you know you shouldn't do that. And then the Guardians are like, okay, man. And then Sinestro's like, all right, dude, see ya. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna go protect my world. And they're like, you're never gonna do that. And he's like, too bad, I'm gonna do it anyway. And he leaves. And they're like, okay, bye.
How can one guy
destroy
Parallax?
Everyone knows Parallax
killed the greatest Green Lantern. He also killed every single other Green Lantern at the same time.
Yes, Parallax is unstoppable, dude. Yeah. There's no way that Hal Jordan can beat Parallax.
Hal Jordan is fucking stupid.
Yeah, that's true.
And because he's stupid, Parallax has never faced a stupid Green Lantern before.
That's true.
And that's the thing that's going to be his undoing.
Exactly. You'll have to see. So Hal arrives back to Earth, and he sees Carol floating in space. And she's floating there because Hector has her in a telekinesis trap, and he's about to inject her with a little syringe, too, to make her into looking like him.
Oh.
Right?
So real sexy.
Yeah. And also Hector's in a little wheelchair now.
Oh no, he's gotten evolved too much.
Yeah, and so Hal's like, "Hey, Hector, look, I get it, man. I know what it's like to be you." Just the funniest thing to imagine, like fucking hot looking like Hal Jordan talking to this sweaty balding ball sack over here, going like, "Bro, I know how hard it is to be you," but he does this, and he's like, "Here's what I'm gonna do, man. I am gonna give you the Green Lantern ring. And if I give that to you, I want you to set Carol free." And Hector's like, okay, then that's the lot. So he gives him the ring, and Hector's like, and he has the ring, and he puts it on him. He's like, blah! And then he like shoots like a ball of fire out of the ring behind him to show off his power. And he's like, I tricked you, Hal. And then he shoots a ball of fire at Hal, and it's about to hit Hal, but then it stops. And Hal's like, aha, I have tricked you, for you see, I cannot give you the ring chooses, and the ring did not choose you. And then he's like, ah! And then the fireball that he flew at Hal flies back at him, just fucking like backfires and smashes him into a wall.
All right, that's all right.
Which is pretty great.
That's cute.
Great. I thought what was going to happen was like Hal had used up all of the ring's power at this point.
All right.
What happened? What's going on?
Maybe I missed it, Mike. What happened to the yellow ring? They make that yet?
They made that yellow ring.
What's up with the yellow ring?
So here's the thing. All right. Sinestro was going to use the yellow ring, but Hal's like, I want to defeat this thing without the yellow ring. So if I don't defeat him, and if he defeats me, go ahead and use the yellow ring. That's what's going on.
Got
okay?
it. Okay.
So Sinestro has the yellow ring. It was crafted by the Guardians.
Makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go. So there. See, movie's flawless.
Yeah.
So
gotcha. Okay.
Anyway, so Carol falls because now she's safe, I guess. And the aliens arrive and they break through the windows and they're like, the aliens like, Hector, you failed us. And they fucking kill Hector by ripping his skeleton out of his body.
Oh,
which
shit.
I didn't know that thing
That's
could
how.
do.
That's how. I mean, it's funny because it's a skeleton, but it's your soul, which I feel
Yes.
like doesn't represent your soul
No,
really
it's
well.
come on, dude. Yeah, come on. Your soul is. We saw the movie Soul. Your soul is a little like sperm monster inside of you.
Spermy guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's your soul. It's not your skeleton, bro. But yeah, it rips the skeleton out. And on the skeleton is the little like ring on it still. So Hal goes to retrieve the ring from the skeleton, but the alien grabs Hal and is about to skeletonize him. But then Carol goes in and shoots a missile at Parallax. Parallax is like, no, a missile, my one weakness. But no, it's not actually a weakness. And the alien goes and flies over the city, blocks the sun out, and just fucking starts skeletonizing people. Just starts killing people by the like thousands.
Hell yeah.
Just murdering them.
Sure, why
They're
not?
dead. They are
Fuck 'em.
dead.
Fuck
Those
'em.
people are never coming back.
Yeah, man.
And what's going to be in their
The
obituary?
thing is like so much of this movie is like he wiped out entire planets, and it's
Yeah.
just never shown.
Yeah. Now we see it.
Now I finally get to see it, which is weird. I feel like you should show
that
Yeah.
beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah.
At first, I'm just like, this is just like a weird loogie that's like going through space, you know? Ooh, so scary. But
Yeah.
now I know why it's dangerous.
Which is weird because even when I saw how scary it was against one guy, and it was just like, okay, that one guy sucks.
so how?
Wait, so he kills Green Lanterns? You're like, that's not that
I
scary.
don't care about the Green Lanterns. Who cares about the Green Lanterns? These are human beings. These are children.
It's true.
So, so Hal shows up and he starts fighting Parallax next to a giant sign that says Subway on it. Eat fresh.
Hell yeah.
And Hal draws the alien off of Earth and fights it in space.
Man, you should have killed Jared.
I agree with you. I wonder if there exists, because this is before all that happened.
Yeah.
I wonder if there exists like the Green Lantern shows up and it's Jared like in a Green Lantern outfit.
And he's like, I can make a sandwich for under $5
Mhm.
and it'll make you lose weight. And I really like kids. Wait,
Make sure your kids watch the Green Lantern movie.
I'll be there.
I'll be there. So anyway, Hal flies off the Earth. The alien follows them, and he flies into the sun. And the alien tries barfing on him, but it's caught in the sun's orbit. And
Wait,
then
what?
the barf out of the alien's mouth gets caught in the sun's orbit. I don't know how much more clear I can fucking be, Ethan.
Wait,
What?
what is the gravitational force of vomit?
That's what I wanted to know. Because it doesn't seem like it's very much, because he's like, blah, 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 and then it flies back into his mouth. So he swallows his own vomit, really, because it's being pulled by the sun.
People are into that.
I mean, I don't know, maybe. So Hal watches all this happen, and the alien gets burnt up by the sun and is pulled into the sun's orbit and it's burnt to smithereens.
So the sun kills Parallax.
And then Hal's also
So
been
did
brought
Hal
into
even
the
really
sun.
do anything?
Hal brought him to the sun
Okay.
and tricked him by getting near the orbit. But I mean, honestly, I think any of the fucking
Green
anybody
Lantern's
could have done that shit.
Yeah, that seems so
Although, if you think about it, didn't the movie open with the? No, it opened with the sun, with the Earth and the moon.
Yeah.
But he was the son of a,
He was
of a
the
dad
son
that
of
died.
someone. Yeah.
Yeah,
Man, we're all sons.
we're all
Thank God.
sons. Yeah. In the arms of
angels.
Anyway, so Hal's about to get burnt up by the sun too, but then all the other Green Lanterns show up and save
Are those
him.
motherfuckers dead? I guess they found
Some did.
They probably the rings found new people. I
Yeah,
assume.
exactly. So they bring him back to and they save his life.
You ever think that like the Green Lanterns are like they're kind of like basically the police state?
Oh yeah,
and like
he says straight up, these are space cops.
And every time one police state person goes down, another one will replace him immediately because the system is built to just constantly, continually, quote unquote, protecting the world.
The badge chooses, the person too.
The badge chooses the person.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Green Lives Matter.
Green Lives Matter. That's right, man. Yeah. Oh my God. Imagine, like a Green Lives Matter like flag with just like a green in the middle of it.
I would think for some reason in my mind I picture 2 Shrek ears behind it.
I would love that. So he is celebrated by all of the Green Lanterns. There's a big victory, and everyone welcomes him into the Space Cop Corps. And then Hal goes back to Earth, and he says goodbye to Carol, but he's like, I'll be back. And they kiss, and it's the end. But then after the credits, we see Sinestro. And Sinestro's like, this yellow ring is pretty cool. And he puts on the yellow ring, and his eyes turn all yellow, and his suit turns all yellow.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm Sinestro, which sounds like sinister, and I'm red like a devil man. I'm Sinestro. And then the movie ends.
I was very surprised to see Sinestro as a good guy. I forgot he turns evil.
Yeah.
I was like, because I remember him mostly as being a bad dude in the yellow outfit. So.
Well, now he's got the yellow outfit, and I for one cannot wait for Green Lantern 2.
Green Lantern 2 is gonna be so good. It's been so long in the making. Well, the thing that's funny about this movie.
So how'd you like it?
Dude,
I loved it. I thought this movie rocked. This is the best of all the 4 movies we've seen, and probably the best movie we've seen this year. Loved it.
Can you tell me why?
Yeah. I really liked Hector and how much he looked like a big old ball sack. And I liked when he was like,
I will say this movie wins for best ball sack. I've been watching this movie in the background. Let me tell you, this ball sack scene.
You have been watching the movie in the background. I've seen the reflection on that beer can.
He's throwing, he is throwing Amanda Waller around with his psychic powers all over the place. This movie first entered development in 1997.
Well, good things come to those who wait.
Stalled for a long time. Yeah, it was worth it. You know how Mad Max Fury Road took forever to make, and he was just waiting for the right time? This is the same thing.
Yeah, they didn't have the technology to bring this beautiful story to life. Also, you probably looked this up. The director fucking hated working on this movie because him and Ryan Reynolds did not get along with each other.
Really?
Director was also a big old baby about this movie.
That's so weird because I always feel like Ryan Reynolds gets all the roles he gets, not because he's a good actor, but because he seems like a nice guy to work with.
I mean, I think that's what happened here, but the director didn't want to work with him. He thought that I think he wanted Bradley Cooper for the role instead. Yeah.
Okay.
But the studios were like, no, let's get Ryan Reynolds instead. So it wasn't up to the director. And so he made Ryan Reynolds' life a living hell, apparently, according to Ryan Reynolds and other people on set. But it's really funny because I'm like, oh man, I guess the director was really upset because apparently he made this movie. He got taken away from him and re-edited. And but then I looked up what the director said about the movie, and he's like, I want a way longer movie explaining all the bullshit that needed to happen.
I mean, honestly though,
you think a longer movie would be better? I think they just
I think the meddling was in the wrong spots. Like I think they could have cut away a lot of the action and shit. And could have probably spent more time with like maybe some reasons why we should give a shit about these characters.
Yeah,
which is funny because the beginning is so freaking boring.
I think they need to start from square one.
I think you're right. You're probably honestly right. You know what's funny is apparently the Six Flags coaster in Magic Mountain came out around the same time to coincide with the film's release. Have you been on that ride?
No.
I've never been in a coaster
ever
that made me feel
good. Bad.
Like I've been in a car wreck before.
Wait, what? You've never been on one that made you feel like you were in a car wreck?
This made me feel like I was getting in a car accident.
Oh man!
Like it just throws you around because it's like vertical coaster. It just goes up and down.
Oh Jesus!
Like it is ridiculous.
Do you feel like the Green Lantern?
I mean, if the Green Lantern feels like he has a fucking concussion the whole time, then I do.
You leave that and you look like Hector.
Yeah, at least the one in Magic Mountain is like one of the worst rides I've ever been on.
Man.
I remember going on that and being like, wow, I would have taken my fast pass back out of this. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Is like this movie was fucking awful.
Yeah, it was not a good movie. Even everyone who was like attached to this movie didn't like it either, which is I think the funniest thing.
The best thing to come out of it, I guess,
is Ryan Reynolds found the love of his life.
Good for that guy. I mean, I think he's kind of annoying as a person.
Yeah.
But I have no ill will against him.
I don't want him to die.
Yeah.
I don't want him to die.
I don't want him to die.
Let this be known. I don't want Ryan Reynolds to die.
I don't want Ryan Reynolds to die. He can live.
He can live.
Let him live.
I choose live.
Yeah. Let Ryan live.
Blake Lively.
My God, this movie was terrible.
It's
though.
so bad.
It's
though.
like I knew it was bad. I heard it was bad.
Yeah.
My ex-girlfriend got an advanced screening of this because it was at our theater or something. She worked at a theater.
Did you see it?
No, I was not invited because it was only for cast people who worked at the theater.
Oh, I see.
And even she was like, "This is
I didn't want to be a part of it. Yeah,
terrible." And I was like, "Okay."
I've heard that from everyone else too.
And so you know what? They're not lying to you. Green Lantern is awful, and it just comes at an awkward time at DC.
Yeah,
where it's
they didn't know what to do.
What are we even doing here? We're not even like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's so strange because it just doesn't feel like they're let off the leash enough to do anything interesting. Like they feel like they have to.
I think there's some crazy shit in this movie, my man.
But I think it's all like in line with the comic book.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem is they need to adapt it to a film.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good
point. Being like the fear.
The yellow is bad.
The yellow
green is good.
It's just like
Will is way better than fear is.
Which is like, what are you talking about?
Parallax.
What is this?
We're OA.
It's too fucking much,
it's too
man.
much. I agree with you, man.
It's too much. And then the Dark Knight Rises comes out after this. It's like a completely different tone, completely different vibe.
Way better.
It's like, maybe something that's like very grounded and realistic, maybe resonates with audiences more.
Yeah.
But this movie, while it bombed, can you guess how bomb it was?
How bomb it was?
How bomb it was?
How bomb was
I'm
it?
talking about bomb in the negative term.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm bad with these sorts of numbers. Do you know?
I mean, I do know because I'm going to look at the
website.
website, Wikipedia. What do you mean look it up? I'm looking it up right now. Okay. Have I been drinking too much because this movie drives me to drink? Maybe so.
Yeah, made you green.
All right,
yeah?
budget $200 million.
$200 million. That's not even that much. I mean, that is a lot, but it's not too much.
If I had even
for a movie like this,
if I had 1% of that, I'd be pretty happy.
Yeah, that's true.
It'd change my life, man. You know? It'd change my fucking life, bro.
Would you be in this movie?
If it gave me even 1%, even 0.5%.
Yeah, but
you have to be fucking happy.
But you have to be Blake Lively in the movie.
I would kiss Ryan Reynolds so fucking hard. They want me to do full frontal. Let's go.
You're do it anyway.
I understand that. But if they did, I'm in. Are we doing the unrated cut?
You have to be Hector.
Oh, I will become a ball. If you want a ball sack, on my ball sack.
Yeah,
if I got double ball sack, one on my head, one on my balls.
Yeah, that's what you'll do.
Give me that for $2 million. Let's go.
All right, so $200 million is what this movie was, right?
$200 million.
All right, so what did it make back?
Yeah. What do you think of the?
Okay, I'll say $90 million.
No.
Too much?
No.
Too little?
No.
What?
It's too little. It made more.
Oh, so it made more than that?
Yeah.
Okay. So $200 million? $100 million.
No.
$150 million.
More.
$500 million.
No, lower than that, buddy. Come on, it's lower than that. We can't end this podcast so you get it.
$300 million.
Less than that.
$200 million.
A little higher than that.
$250 million.
A little lower than that.
$225 million.
A little lower than that.
$220 million.
You did it!
So a $20 million return,
yeah,
which is not great.
That's not considering the marketing. Because I feel like they never put the marketing in the budget, which I think is kind of bullshit, right?
It's bullshit.
Like that's part of the cost of the movie, right?
That's true.
And you're like, oh, the movie costs this much to make. It's like
all the Subway ads,
Exactly. How much does Subway pay forward with this, huh?
That's what I want to know.
What was the cut? The check that was cut? You know?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I'll tell you, it's about a foot long.
I think the thing is like modern day box office bombs like this are just fucking depressing.
It really is.
Like even The Mummy, it was better than this.
Yeah.
But not by much.
No.
Not by much.
It's a lot of money to... I mean, this is what it is. It's all gambling, man.
It is. But like, gamble on some real shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Waterworld, that was fun, bro.
It was fun. And apparently it technically wasn't a bomb.
Well, neither was... Neither was Green Lantern or
Mummy.
Or the Mummy, really.
Yeah.
The Mummy.
The only real bomb was Pluto Nash.
Pluto Nash was a pretty
bomb.
fucking big bomb.
Yeah.
And you know what? It was a fun bomb, though.
That was a fun one.
Like, put it in. If you're going to get that investment money, you better use it well.
I know. Yeah.
And
they did not.
They
did, but they just didn't return.
This movie?
No, I was talking about Pluto Nash.
Oh, Pluto Nash.
This movie, but that's the thing. It's like, this seems like a really safe bet. It's like, you get Ryan Reynolds, face like apple pie. You get everyone loves a fucking superhero movie, like this seems like a safe bet. just didn't return.
It seems funny too because it's like you have such an opening because it's like people aren't fatigued by superhero movies yet. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. So you just gotta find the right superhero.
Yeah. But you know what? Turns out Green Lantern may not be it.
No, that's true.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. Go back. Anyway, Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool and Wolverine coming out soon as this recording.
Guys, what did you think about the Dark Knight movies? Email us at emailtheotherhalfpodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, and also on a Discord. And if you want to listen to our previous Bombs Away episodes, find them on any podcatching app. And while you're there, please leave a 5-star rating and review. We will read on the show no matter what it says, even if it's you, Blake Lively. We'll read it.
Yeah, cool. Tell us what the name of your Buzzin' Betty is called.
We're not going to Google it.
I'm not going to Google it. I'm not going to look it up. I'm not going to look up Buzzin' Betty.
We should have cracked open a Buzzin' Betty in
I didn't even think about that. Mix them together, see how it tasted.
I'm curious. We're going to have to do that now.
Yeah, I guess that's the next thing we have to try.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is the end of Bombs Away. This is the last episode. It was very insightful. I learned a lot about how
depressed.
Hollywood spends so much money on bullshit when
that doesn't matter.
They really fight unions a lot, and they really don't want to pay people a lot of money.
It doesn't seem to go to the right people. So
very interesting.
Very interesting. What a great time to be alive. Good night, everybody. AI's taking over anyway.
Hey, I can write a script better than that. Maybe.